over-mothering in your business, how this creates a disconnect, lack of sustainability, and most likely is decreasing the profit in your business. What if I gave you a permission slip that said, your job is to feel good? And what if I told you that the better you feel, the bigger impact you can make in the world? And in fact, that is the magical parenting strategy that we've all been searching for. Hey, I'm Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this show is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life both at home and at work. My attempt is to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh, you will cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your children, your health, or your relationships. And when you learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to ditch self-sacrifice and step into your brave zone. All right, everyone, I'm back, and this is the Thursday podcast. And every Thursday I attempt, and when I say attempt, I mean imperfectly attempt, to provide some content on business. Because over my years of supporting women, primarily through mothering and motherhood and sustainability and really feeling strong and grounded and alive, both within their own personal lives, but also in their relationships, including parenting, partnerships, and beyond. What I have found is as women, we carry how you do one thing is how you do everything. So what you're doing in your personal relationships, that doesn't cut off if you own a business. So for those of you that follow me that own a business, or you are in a high leadership role where you are managing people, and I always say business is another opportunity for personal growth on steroids, because if you're not looking at your own self and your leadership style and where your energy leaks are, you're going to burn out. It's not going to feel sustainable, and most likely your business is not going to grow. So if you want to know more about how I can be of service to you and the coaching program that we offer called Mastery Business, then head on over to Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/business. Or if you have a personal business question and you're curious, or you would love for me to answer it on a podcast, or maybe give you some quick feedback if I have the capacity for that, then send me a text, 313-710-5199. 313-710-5199. Okay, so the 4 ways that we overmother in our business. These are often the things that I see women do. These are things that I have worked through myself. And the more and more conversations I have with female business owners at any level, especially friends and colleagues who are beyond where I'm at, it's very intriguing for me to see that this is a woman's issue. This is a universal global issue. And it is what often holds women back from creating that equality and that equity that we crave in society. So a lot of times we think it is the systemic approach, which 100% it is a systemic approach and a cultural expectation, but we cannot control the things outside of ourselves, but what we can control is how we react to them from the inside out. So again, I talk about this a lot. If you want to change the culture of your home, you have to change your inner culture, like how you show up and how you feel. And it's a ripple effect. So this is the exact same thing in business. So a lot of times when we're making excuses or commenting on, COVID and the pandemic and all of that, yes, and, right? Yes, those things are happening. And who do you need to be and how do you need to show up to make it happen? I have seen so many female entrepreneurs pivot their business during this time, which is incredibly emotionally uncomfortable, but it was possible. And it was actually what they needed in order to jump into those areas of their lives that they were avoiding looking at for a really, really long time. So sometimes when one revenue stream gets cut off because of a market shift or things like that, we need to open another stream of revenue, or we need to pivot how we are providing our services in order to be of service to other people. So again, of course, there's going to be seasons, right? There's going to be seasons of rebuilding. There's going to be seasons of growth and opportunity. It doesn't matter what relationship you're in. There's always seasons, just like, winter, spring, summer, fall. There's business seasons as well. But these are the 4 common patterns that I see women do. So they will experience low profit. So if you, I had a really good conversation with my friend, Tara Newman, and she has a podcast. Check her out. Just Google or put Tara's name, Tara Newman, in any podcast app, and you'll find it. I forget where her podcast is called, but it's like the Bold's Money Revolution or something like that. She just changed the name. And she talks a lot about profit first. And I love profit first. We talk about this inside of my my business coaching programs. And it's really important to understand that females need to look at their money when it comes to business, because if it doesn't matter even if you have somebody on your team, you have to look at your money in order to grow it. You can't run away from it. So low profit is often a representation of the lack of receiving. So, we'll compare ourselves to industry standards. I just had a client do this where she shifted her service. She increased her prices. She was able to provide a better quality of service for her clients, which got better satisfaction. And because she got better satisfaction, she increased her profits, and at the same time was also decreasing expenses. So we are very good. So pain point number 1. Okay. So the 4 ways of overmothering. So number 1 is lack of receiving. And this is where you give, but you never ask. You never ask. And so oftentimes you end up in relationships where you're just giving your time, your energy, and your money, and you're not realizing that these are directly contributing to your lack of your profitable business, which has just become a very expensive hobby. Number 2, over-delivering. So the second way that you may, or women over-mother in their business, is over-deliver. So everyone believes more is better. This is the Kool-Aid that we have culturally drank. What's the next tool? What's the next strategy? What's the next thing? Blah, 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 blah. I need another program. I need another coach. I need this and this. You don't need to do 5 things at once. What you need to do is pick one thing, one coach, one program, one area of focus, one goal that you want to achieve, especially if you have a lot of resistance around it. One problem that you are solving for people. Find your way of being, right? Like, how do you deliver? What is the promise of your product, your program, your service? And stay in that lane. Stay in that lane. So I'll give you an honest perspective of this. So when I started my business, I was focused on the parent-child relationship. And then as it kept growing, now my business model has shifted. And so when people come into my Mastery coaching program or Mastery business program, there are many tools and strategies that I teach. It's not just about money. It's not just about time. It's not just about energy or relationships. But really, I focus on my core that I focus on is helping you feel alive as possible and then giving you the step-by-step to do that in a sustainable, profitable way. So when people say to me, tell me about your Facebook ad strategy, or tell me how you wrote your book or whatever. I'm like, I don't teach people how to write books. Like, that is not the program that I am selling. I can have somebody come in, but not all of my clients want to write books. So I'm now not going to be adding that in to my program. I'm here to teach you how to create sustainability in your business so you feel alive. That is what my promise is. Now, if you do the work, that's another story. But that is the promise. So the promise isn't to over deliver and be like, I could teach you this, I could teach you this, I could teach you this. Because when we over deliver, oftentimes what we're doing is we are doing it from a place of lack or fear. Again, it's coming back to that give. And we're actually pushing away money. But what we're really doing is creating codependency with our clients. And how you do that is because you have no boundaries. And if you don't have those boundaries, those time boundaries, and trust me, I have to chronically work on my boundaries, but you're the one that needs to be responsible for that, right? So we teach people how to treat us. So we also need to teach people how to work with us, right? So sometimes people will say to me, hey, can you do this or can you do that? And I'm like, actually, no, that's not a part of this process, but here's a referral, right? Here's a referral. Or I was like, where else do I want to go with this? So one other thing I want to say with over delivering as the second way that women over mother in their business, not only do they give more of their time, they give more of their energy, but what often I find is you're giving away your money. You're giving away your money because this is where I see women discounting themselves, where, I will ask somebody, why aren't you charging more for that program? Like, that's a lot of value, or that's like a really high expectation for your client. Why aren't you charging more for that? And they'll say to me, one, because nobody's going to pay it, or two, I just want to be accommodating to everybody. But what you don't understand is, people are looking up to you as a leader in your business, and they want you to have the confidence. They want to know, they want to shake you a little bit. They want to know that you are capable of providing the service that you say you're going to provide and the result that you say you're going to provide. But you also have to have an expectation of them, right? And I find that this over delivering coming from a place of fear often comes because you're too incredibly uncomfortable to hold their discomfort. And what I mean by that is you can get back to the basics and strip things out and make it really easy for people. And you're like, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. But they won't follow it because they're human, right? So when we're over giving, we're actually cutting that person off from receiving the transformation that they crave. So over delivering doesn't serve anybody. It is self-serving because you're coming from a place of lack or lack of worth, and you're discounting yourself, whether it's time, money, or energy, because of worthiness. And so that brings me to the third one, the third way that women overmother in their business, which is rescuing. So rescuing is something actually that we talk a lot about in my mastery program, how we're rescuing our children's behaviors, how we're rescuing our partners, how we're rescuing our friends, how we're trying to save the world. And I am a compassionate, empathetic, heart-centered woman, and I want to change the world. I want to change the world. And so I always say I'm a recovering rescuer. But this is where I have, and probably still am in, it's a maintenance thing, over rescuing. And what I find with the rescuing piece is really trying to save the world. And you just can't. And I think one day you get to a point where you surrender to it and you're like, I'm one person. I am one person and I am not responsible for other people's lack of responsibility. So what I mean by that is, trying to make other people's experiences painless, helping them, kind of like doing the helicopter mom thing and trying to make sure that they don't experience any discomfort. That's one thing if you're physically providing that service. So I'm thinking of a spa, or where that is the pain point that you're solving, is you're trying to make somebody else's business or someone else's, let's just say you're a travel concierge and you're like, okay, we're trying to make a flawless travel experience. You got to fucking charge for that. You have to charge for that. Because again, if you're not charging the energetic equal exchange, what's going to happen is you're going to become angry and resentful, and you're going to take on everyone else's emotional state. And when you take on everyone else's emotional state, you're going to burn out. It's not sustainable. You're not going to have the capacity to bring on more clients, and you're not going to make enough money in your business. So that is the third way that women overmother in their business, which is rescuing. The fourth one. The fourth way that women overmother in their business. Do you want to know what it is? Can you guess? I probably could write a frickin' book on this itself. Is workaholism, the addiction to identity with work. And it's always a fine line with this, right? How much is too much? And I don't really think anyone can answer that for you. I don't really think you can get to a point where there's a secret formula. But I will tell you, when you use work to avoid your home life, that is when you have to look within and say, okay, am I satisfied? Am I okay with this? What's going on? What am I avoiding? So in mothering, I used to do this, and I think this is an epidemic for women and mothers especially, is who am I? Especially women without children. Who am I if I don't have children? It's so freaking annoying. People are like, when are you going to have kids? And you're like, I'm not. Get over it. Who cares? It's your body, your life, right? But motherhood is so ingrained in the female identity. People say, who are you? Tell me more about yourself. The first thing you say is, I'm a mother, or you tell them what you do professionally. But it's like, who are you outside of that? So I understand that some of these over-mothering tendencies in your business are culturally normal. It doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because it's culturally normal doesn't mean it's healthy. And I'm here doing my thing, trying to help women feel alive. And this is just something that we have to look at. There's no perfection here. It's just 1 degree better, 1 degree better, 1 degree better. So the 4 ways that you may be over-mothering in your business. 1, lack of receiving, which will equal low profit in your business, and it will feel like a really expensive hobby. Number 2, over-delivering, creating codependency with your clients, fear, operating from a place of lack and worthy, not enoughness, never asking for the sale. Number 3, rescuing your clients, rescuing your employees, trying to make, setting yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Number 4, workaholism, identifying your whole identity is wrapped around your work. And you don't know who you are if you lost your job, or if COVID took it away for a few months. And for some of you, that may be the case. You'd be like, oh, who am I? I know that motherhood, being a mother and the work that I do in the world gives me so much life. But I can also tell you, if I take time off, I've gotten to a way better, healthier place where I can now find enjoyment and excitement out of life and possibility without my children and without my work present. So it's a journey, guys or ladies. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's a journey. There's not a quick fix here. But my intention for today's conversation was to show you how we may be getting in our own way with creating the sustainable, thriving, impact-filled business that you really want. So if you want more details about our mastery coaching program, head on over to heatherchauvin.com/business. And we have a wait list, so check out the wait list. And there's actually a video that talks more about the program and how we can solve your problems. And even if now is not a good time, it's really good to get on that wait list because we often will put promos and fast action bonuses and things that come up when we're about to open the doors for the next round. So get on that list, Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/business. And if you're curious and feeling stuck in your business and you're not sure if, how to get out of your own way, let me know what your challenge is. 313-710-5199. You're not alone. You don't need to do this alone. And co-creation is a beautiful, beautiful way to create freedom in your life.